This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
You're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, a split within the AAP's top leadership comes out into the open as Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan take on Arvind Kejriwal and his style of functioning. Is Kejriwal a one-man show whose personality is dominating the party, or are those who are speaking out of touch with reality? And later in the show, nearly 10 years after he was kicked out, Jagmohan Dalmia returns as head of the BCCI. Is this the clean-up that the cricket board was looking for? Has nothing changed in Indian cricket in the last decade? But the big political story tonight, will Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan, two well-known faces of the Aam Aadmi Party, be thrown out of the party's highest decision-making body? Well, that is just what may happen later this week after the two leaders have openly questioned the way the party and Arvind Kejriwal in particular are functioning. The rift, in fact, is so bad now that allegations and counter-allegations are being made publicly by all sides. For a party that has just won a remarkable victory in Delhi, this could mean trouble.
Aam Aadmi Party will meet on Wednesday to take tough decisions on their disgruntled leaders Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan. The founder members Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan are expected to be removed from AAP's highest decision-making body, the Political Affairs Committee.
हजारों लाखों वो लोग जो बड़ी उम्मीद से इस पार्टी की ओर देखते हैं, उनके बीच में हम लोगों की छवि एक मजाक सी बनती जा रही है.
The Aam Aadmi Party today acknowledged a rift in its top leadership for the first time and indicated that a tough decision in this regard will be taken in the upcoming National Executive Council meet. Top sources indicate to NDTV that they are in possession of a telephonic conversation wherein Prashant Bhushan is heard saying that he wants the Aam Aadmi Party to be reduced to just 22 seats in the 2015 Assembly elections. Citing this telephonic conversation and evidence of leaks by Yogendra Yadav, the party is now all set to distance itself from both Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan from its decision-making process. Meanwhile, a new note today kept the crisis on the boil for the party that had till last month basked in its historic election victory in Delhi. This one by AAP's Delhi Secretary Dilip Pandey accuses Yogendra Yadav, Prashant Bhushan and his father Shanti
उस व्यक्ति को हटाने की एक मुहिम चल रही है पिछले 6 महीने 8 महीने से.
And as the drama played out, Yogendra Yadav tweeted, "Let petty politics not come in the way of our greater purpose."
अरविंद और उनकी कोठरी ये चाहते हैं इस तरह की पार्टी बना दिया जाए, अरविंद को उसका मुखिया मान के और सब उसको अधिकार दे दिए जाएं, जैसे चाहे वो पार्टी को चलाए.
What's clear from the developments of the past few days is that the rift has come to a boiling point and that Yogendra Yadav is fighting a losing battle. It's no longer a fight between Arvind Kejriwal and Yogendra Yadav, but it's now party versus Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan. And in the next 48 hours, they will be ruled out. In New Delhi with camera person Tom Joseph, Sonal Mehrotra, NDTV.
So has Arvind Kejriwal become a one-man show for the Aam Aadmi Party? But the contrary question could be, is that necessarily a bad thing? And are those like Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav who are now questioning that style of functioning out of touch with political realities? Joining us on the program tonight is senior Aam Aadmi Party member and spokesperson Ashutosh. Also joining us this evening is Captain Gopinath, who used to be a member of the Aam Aadmi Party and has written extensively since then about why he left. Style of functioning had something to do with that. Shazia Ilmi, who is now a member of the BJP and had famously walked out of the AAP for similar reasons, and Aarti Jairath is here in the studio with us. Ashutosh, I'll ask you straight off, is there now likely to be, Ashutosh, a split in the party later this week? Is it now very likely that Yogendra Yadav and Mr. Bhushan are on their way out of the PAC?
No, Nidhi, I think you are entitled to have any viewpoint which you want about the party itself, but as a member of the Aam Aadmi Party, I completely rule out this, and I can only say that I am not competent enough to pass a judgment on something like this. National Executive is a supreme body. National Executive on 4th will sit down and discuss. The matter of discussion will be that anybody can raise any question within the party forum, and anybody is entitled. The letters were written, obviously, yes. Those letters will be discussed in the National Executive. But what is more painful and what makes the thing more unhappy is that how come these letters come into the public domain? And if the things will be leaked out like this, that doesn't augur well with the party itself. So our National Executive will sit down and discuss, and will take a decision on this.
Would you concede to Ashutosh that the entire controversy coming particularly so soon after that amazing win in Delhi is something that is hurting your party? You know, these differences which are now being played out in public?
See, honestly speaking, I'm not speaking as a party, but it's my personal opinion, and the personal opinion is that if these leaks come into the party and there is the perception is going that there's nothing, that everything is not well and hunky-dory with Aam Aadmi Party, that is what is hurting Aam Aadmi Party. Anybody is entitled to raise its voice, to raise objections, to seek clarification from the leadership, from the party, but well within the party forum and on not in the public forum. As long as things are discussed in the party forum, it's welcome, but when it goes out, certainly it affects the image of the party, but that again is my personal view.
Ashutosh, just to quickly take on one or two points that both the gentlemen have raised in their various letters. For instance, Prashant Bhushan's letter that was dated on the 26th of February, he talks about the one-person-centric campaign that is making the AAP look like other parties, and even if that's effective, does that justify sacrificing our principles? And also talks about attempts made to surreptitiously seek Congress support to form a government without having to contest the polls. Now, firstly, on the point of this one-person-centric campaign, how would you respond to that particular criticism that he has raised, because he's not the only one who has raised it, that this is a party that is increasingly centering around the personality cult of Arvind Kejriwal?
See, it will not be right on my part to comment on a letter which Prashant Bhushan has written to the party, and the party will respond to that, and party will react on that, and National Executive will discuss these issues. There is nothing wrong in Prashant Bhushan raising these issues in the party forum. So I am not competent authority to speak on that, but yes, in my personal capacity, I can tell you one thing: there is a difference between a party led by a charismatic leader and a personality cult. When a party is led by a charismatic leader, Arvind Kejriwal is a charismatic leader. Aam Aadmi Party has contested Delhi's election under his leadership. But I being a member of the Aam Aadmi Party, I can tell you that Arvind believes in the wider consultation. And after wider consultation, he takes a decision. There's nothing wrong in it. But when it comes to the personality cult, Aam Aadmi Party doesn't believe in the personality cult, because personality cult means the blind faith, and where nobody has any right to raise a question to the leadership. That's what Aam Aadmi Party doesn't believe and doesn't practice.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you for more points that have been raised by the two gentlemen. But Shazia Ilmi, I take this question to you then, because on this question of whether or not there is a personality cult or whether it's too centered around Arvind Kejriwal, the fact is that people who voted for the AAP in Delhi voted because Arvind Kejriwal was the man leading the campaign. It was largely a vote in his name, in the way that it was a vote for Narendra Modi during the Lok Sabha elections. So is that necessarily a bad thing? Isn't that just real politics?
I think Aam Aadmi Party was a different, claims to be a different party than others. It was born of a movement. I see a cause degenerating into a cult, and I don't see AAP any different from any other parties. AAP came into being, its raison d'etre was that it stood for transparency, it stood for decentralization, it stood for accountability, that it wasn't a cult, that it wasn't a supremo kind of a party, that did not believe in inner party coteries, and believed in a wider consultative process. And having been a member of National Executive Committee of Aam Aadmi Party, and much before that having joined, being a part of Anna movement, I can assure you that Arvind Kejriwal would encourage consultations as long as people are in agreement with him. It's like Benjamin Disraeli said, my idea of an agreeable man is one who agrees with me. And that's pretty much what Arvind stands for and his inner coterie. Anybody who asks questions and tough questions, if you read Prashantji's letter, and I can assure you this much, he'll be the last person to leak it. I know how selective leaks are done and what is the process in the Aam Aadmi Party, having worked with them for a long enough period. So I think it is deliberately being done to tarnish their image, which is Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav, and they're least likely to be doing that as opposed to many others in the party whose job is primarily this. But not going further into it, let me just say, Prashant Bhushan asked about the candidate selection. He asked about the party being in the ambit of RTI. He asked about the expenditure being made public and being on the website. So he's asking for in a party democracy. He's wanting to know as to how Dilip Pandey, for instance, has become the Delhi secretary. What was the consultative process that led to that? And so on and so forth. These are very real questions coming from somebody who is a founder member of a party which stands for change and transformation in politics.
My only counter to that, and I know Ashutosh is smiling at what you're saying. My only counter to that is this political party today in this country doesn't have a coterie, doesn't have a leadership, a central leadership or one leader around whom, I mean, if you look at every party, whether it's Narendra Modi in the BJP, whether it is the Gandhi in the Congress, so every regional party, I'm happy to contend with one figure that holds those parties together. How can Aam Aadmi Party should say we're like any other party? We believe in the political expediency. We believe in political expediency. We do believe in having a very rich candidates. We are okay with candidates from BJP, Congress. We are like any other party. Then there is no problem. But Aam Aadmi Party came to power because it felt. I'll take that to Ashutosh before I open this up. And that is why there is a problem with this. Okay, Aam Aadmi Party has problem. The res of death row. The res of death row. Okay, that's a good point. The very basis of being was that it stands for something different. Ashutosh, is the problem that as a party the AAP has held itself to a different standard and always held itself to a different moral standard, a different standard of transparency, and that's why this is hurting you more than it would perhaps any other party? There are bickerings that happen in other parties too, but it's hurting the AAP more.
Nidhi, let me first compliment Shazia Ilmi, because I know she's in the BJP, but her heart still lies in Aam Aadmi Party, and that's why she has such good words about Aam Aadmi Party. That Aam Aadmi Party stands for transparency, Aam Aadmi Party stands for accountability, Aam Aadmi Party stands for decentralization. I am very, very thankful to the Shazia Ilmi. Shazia Ilmi, this is the only party whom you left in a press conference, and the National Executive of Aam Aadmi Party very candidly and very kindly has requested you that if you can come back to the Aam Aadmi Party. No other party does that. I think Aam Aadmi Party, that's why you have such kind words for Aam Aadmi Party. I am really thankful to you. Secondly, when you are talking about what harm is doing, I think this just now the Delhi has reposed faith in Aam Aadmi Party. It has given 67 seats out of 70. So Delhi knows who are the people and what kind of politics they stand for. This is the same party, just 2 years old party. Last year we got 28 seats and now 67 seats. So that means the moral compass of Aam Aadmi Party is intact, and people of Delhi believes. That's why people of Delhi has given us such massive mandate.
All right, Ashutosh, like I said, I will come back to you about more points that have been raised, by Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav. But Captain Gopinath, as you listen to this, do you worry that any potential differences or any split could actually hurt the party, or that this is a natural churning process that also may happen as a political party grows? It's not always going to be hunky-dory, is it?
No, I think, I feel sad because, as you know, the whole country looked up to Anna Hazare and Kejriwal. I mean, Anna gave the idealism and gave hope, and Kejriwal gave a political platform. And amongst the founding members of the Aam Aadmi, not only Aam Aadmi Party but also the Anna movement, I think there's no question that Kejriwal stood out. Even during the Anna movement, I met him a few times, and everybody knew that he was a hardliner, but he had a charisma, and he led the party with fearlessness. He made a lot of sacrifice. The whole country has to be grateful to him because he changed the nature of political discourse. He brought a new political accountability into the political debate. He brought governance to center stage. I mean, all this, I think the country has to be forever grateful to him. But as we all know that throughout history, people who replace tyrants sometimes become worse than the tyrants. And there's no question that all of us had to be thankful to him to have risen back from the ashes, literally, and become a strong opposition to BJP, because the BJP needs a strong opposition in the obliteration of the Congress. But the very fact that someone wins with such brute majority cannot completely condone all the misdemeanors or the lack of inter-party democracy within the party, because as we all know, the bane of Indian politics today, it is still, I think, evolving, that there is no inner party democracy, though we have a vibrant democracy for state elections, panchayat elections, even the national elections. Within the parties, there is no either debate or either good elections. Look at all the Western democracies. If somebody has to contest as a prime minister, first you have to win a hard-pitched battle within the party. If you have to win the nomination in the USA within the Democratic Party, first you have to win a battle. Similarly in the UK, similarly in Germany. So no political party has inner party democracy.
And you were hoping that the AAP would be different.
Aam Aadmi Party too.
You were clearly hoping
that one second. Yeah. I just want to make a point. Let me finish. The problem is that we all know that there are two very solid, sane voices in the AAP, Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan. I mean, they have been rock solid. The whole country believes in them as much as they believed in Kejriwal. But sometimes what happens, whether it could be people like Shazia Ilmi or Yogendra Yadav or many others, sometimes you get a doubt whether they are raising these questions because they are sidelined. Because when they were in the coterie of Arvind Kejriwal, when other people like me, voiced a different opinion, I remember Yogendra Yadav asking in a TV channel, who is Captain Gopi? When did he join? I didn't even know that he had joined the party. So I think he's getting it back in his own coin, or he's paying it back in his own coin. But anyway, that is not the point.
No,
the
but
point
that's an interesting point that you make, Captain Gopinath. Just hold that thought for a second. Let me just get Aarti's first quick comments on this. Very interesting what Captain Gopinath was also saying there. But my question also, as I asked Shazia, is that, is this the evolution of the AAP into a hardcore, full-fledged Indian political party? Now, this is not the AAP of 2 years ago. This is a different AAP, and that's what's manifesting itself here.
Well, I think to some extent, Nidhi, you're right. But, I would like to say one thing. That I don't think the people of Delhi voted for Aam Aadmi Party because they have inner party democracy or they have a collective decision-making process. I think the people of Delhi voted for Aam Aadmi Party because they're hoping for a different style of governance. They want a government that is less corrupt. They want a government that is more people-focused. They want a government that is going to deliver on the promises that it made during the campaign. And that is what Aam Aadmi Party will be judged on. How much have they lived up to the promises they made to the people of Delhi? Look, what's happening in the Aam Aadmi Party now is, I think, partly inevitable, because when you have, today, Indian politics is personality driven. I mean, there's no question about it. And if Aam Aadmi Party
charge of Arvind Kejriwal sort of becoming a personality driven, becoming a personality driven party is an unfair criticism, because that's how it is?
It is, I mean, that is how it is. And it is a fair criticism that it is becoming a personality driven party. No, and then maybe that's inevitable, here. Even Captain Gopinath was talking about, sort of Western democracies, but look at the UK. I mean, Margaret Thatcher just dominated the Conservative Party. Tony Blair just dominated Labour Party. So, I mean, I think, these things do happen, and, we have to accept them. The thing really here is, what is his delivery going to be in terms of his promises to the people of Delhi? Because that's what he's going to be judged on.
Are you saying that if these two leaders are, out of their decision-making body later this week, it's not going to matter so much?
Well, they weren't the vote catchers, were they? So Arvind Kejriwal was the vote catcher in the Delhi election.
People voted for Kejriwal, not for Yogendra Yadav and Prashant
Kejriwal. That was his slogan.
Yeah. Okay, so Ashutosh, interesting. You've heard the various analysis here, but there's also another twist to this. Dilip Pandey also wrote a letter saying that there was a conspiracy to unseat Arvind Kejriwal. Can you elaborate on that? I mean, is there a genuine belief within the party, or do you believe personally that there was some kind of attempt to sideline him and unseat him?
See, neither I had made a comment on what Admiral Ramdas' letter speaks about. Neither I had said anything about Yogendra Yadav. Why should I be speaking about what Dilip Pandey has said? These are the three letters which has been addressed to the party, and the party is competent enough to make a judgment on that. In my personal capacity, I can only say that these letters should not come into the public. They should not be leaked. And what has leaked is really affecting the image of the party. What Aarti has been saying, I think Aarti has raised a valid point. And the point is that yes, Aam Aadmi Party is a product of a movement, and the party takes its own time to metamorphose and to evolve into a full-fledged political party. But Aam Aadmi Party is not like any other political party. if you see Aam Aadmi Party, the decisions are taken right after a wider consultation. I can tell you from my own experiences, there are certain issues on which I have a very strong viewpoint, and I can afford to differ with Arvind Kejriwal openly, and nothing has happened to me. The point is how these questions are raised and why these questions are raised. So if you are asking whether should I be making comment on Dilip Pandey, certainly I will not, because I had not made any comment about the letters of my two other colleagues, and all of them
Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav are doing it, Ashutosh? Why do you think, I mean, Prashant Bhushan says that volunteers came to him to say that they were brutally silenced when they complained about candidates, that the systems of accountability are dysfunctional. I mean, what do you think the motivation, if you don't want to comment on the merit of what they're saying, since that is something you're saying the party will discuss, what do you think has motivated them to come out with these accusations? What could, because they've been defending the AAP throughout the election campaign on every TV show. What happened suddenly?
No, there is nothing wrong. Why you take it otherwise? Which party which has Stalinistic mooring would accept these kind of letters? Because the party has a strong democratic traditions, and within a democratic tradition everybody has a right to raise questions, and if it doesn't agree, the point is whether it is raised in the public domain or it is raised within the discipline of the party itself. If it is raised within the discipline of the party, if it is raised in the party forum, anybody and everybody is competent enough to raise those questions. If we stop, if volunteers of the party, if office bearers of the party, they live in fear that if they raise questions they will be out of the party, I think then there's nothing wrong with the party. My point is simple. The Aam Aadmi Party believes in internal democracy. Aam Aadmi Party believes in discipline also. So please, if anybody has any question, they are free to raise this question in the party forum, not outside the party forum.
Why do you think then Shazia left? Because Shazia says she left because she couldn't raise points of difference with Arvind Kejriwal, Ashutosh. I mean, that's similar to what now the other two leaders are saying.
Let me also remind you that Shazia is an esteemed colleague, is a respected colleague, and I have a tremendous respect for her. At one point of time, if she felt there is something wrong with the party, she was well within her right to make a choice, and she made a choice. But I also want to remind you that it was Aam Aadmi Party National Executive held in the month of June in Delhi, where unanimously National Executive requested Shazia Ilmi, can you come back to the party? Which party does it? It is because of the democratic tradition that Aam Aadmi Party National Executive requested Shazia Ilmi to come back.
I think,
Shazia, go ahead.
I think, Nidhi, now that I'm being discussed, I think Ashutosh does not know his facts. I'm sure he's not pretending. I'm sure he doesn't know his facts. Let me correct the facts. There was no forum whatsoever. I raised points. In fact, Ashutosh was there. He had just joined the party. He was just joined the party, and I asked the question as to what is the criteria to be in the PAC. Because Arvind wanted Ashutosh to join, and I wanted to know why should Ashutosh be a member of it, because he just joined 5 days back. And I was told later on that I was being very politically, ambitious by asking that question. Later on, though Arvind made it a point to tell everybody that they want me to come back, there was no effort made whatsoever to even talk to me. This was just said because volunteers wanted to know as to why I've left. Also, 5 days before I left, Arvind Kejriwal called me up and said, you're saying things against the party, why don't you leave? And I said, Arvind, this is not your party, we've all worked hard for it. He says, yeah, but you have such a problem, you leave. I kept quiet, I was decent enough, and all this evidence I have. But very quietly, in a dignified way, I left, because Arvind Kejriwal had gone to jail 2 days later on that false bail thing, and I was totally against it. So this is the truth of the matter. There is no forum whatsoever. They will listen to you only if you are a sycophant, only if you're a yes man. Ashutosh is a yes man, which is why he's there. If Ashutosh were to ask a strong question, he would be out. I asked questions about Somnath Bharti. I asked questions about Khidki extension, and I was removed from the list of spokespersons.
You can ask all the questions
you know what happened in the BJP? Bhaduri. Let me tell you, coming on television are only yes men. And only Yogendra Yadav and Prashant.
Shazia, the irony is that you have now joined a party that personifies everything that you're criticizing about Aam Aadmi Party.
Don't worry about
that. Is the most amazing, that is the biggest irony of all.
BJP, and you would want to make comments, but
I mean, talk about personality cult, you can't get a bigger one than the Modi personality cult.
I don't know why you're not letting me answer the questions when it pertains to me and in a party democracy. What is getting you so worked up, Aarti Cheras, I wonder?
I'm saying it's ironic. I'm laughing actually. I'm not at all worked up. I'm laughing and I think it's very ironic that you should raise these points. Considering where you ended up.
But I spent 3.5 years in Aam Aadmi Party and
Shazia, I don't think the point is about you personally. I think the point is that when you look at all the main political parties today, whether it is the BJP, it's certainly centered around Mr. Modi's personality.
I agree with you.
The Congress is the same. You see the psychophancy in the Congress is legendary now. It's happening to the BJP. It will be happening to the AAP as well. True. It's not unique to AAP.
Arvind got me sidelined. Like Arvind and his coterie are getting Yogendra Yadav sidelined.
Ashutosh, I think one serious question though is that why do these allegations keep coming up again?
I agree with you, they're sidelined.
Shazia, take that to Ashutosh. One second. Ashutosh, why do these allegations about Arvind's style of functioning keep coming up again and again? Because it's not the first time. It's not just about what Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav have said right now. Shanti Bhushan has been critical in the past. Captain Gopinath was critical when he left. Others have been extremely upset in the past as well.
See, Nidhi, if I want to give a philosophical answer to this, but before that, I want to say Shazia Ilmi that she has such good words about me, and she has made a comment about my behavioral aspect. I'll thank you so much that you have such high opinions about me, and I can only say that you have joined a party which is if you think is more democratic than Aam Aadmi Party, then good luck to you. And I hope that you survive there for another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and you remain in that party, which is a party. I don't want to comment on that. Guruji Golwalkar has written in his book Bunch of Thought, please read all that. And I'm just coming to the answer. I'm giving my answer. No, I'm giving you.
Yeah,
I know. I'm not getting in.
Smile. So
Nidhi, anybody who is watching NDTV knows fully well that Aam Aadmi Party, Ashutosh had not made any personal comment about Shazia Ilmi. It is Shazia who made it. Good luck to her. My best wishes for her, because being an old colleague, I have a tremendous respect for her. As about why people,
you came in 5 days earlier. You wrote a book praising Arvind Kejriwal.
You can't quarrel with me on that, Shazia.
It's a complete breach of journalistic ethics.
Shazia, you can't be so bitter.
Come on. Okay,
and Ashutosh, come on, Shazia. Come on, Shazia.
Join when Arvind was the CM.
Okay, Captain Gopinath, yes, please, sir, go ahead.
It's not about you and me. It's a larger principle. It's a larger principle.
I know what kind of principles are pursued in BJP. I know what kind of principles are pursued in BJP.
It's not about me.
I don't want a lecture from you on the
Let's let Captain Gopinath have a comment and then we'll wrap this up. Yes, Captain Gopinath.
Good luck that you survive in BJP.
Okay, but we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
If you believe Narendra Modi is a democratic leader, good luck to you. My best wishes.
You have to ask them to.
Yes, Captain Gopinath, go ahead. Yeah.
But because otherwise nobody can hear, like in other debates.
Go ahead.
I think there's a larger issue here. We all know. See, I think Aarti Cheras is right that it is a personality-driven cult in Indian politics, which is true. But I think, apart from the fact that people voted, obviously, not the other issues of inner party democracy, because they voted for good governance and corruption and those kind of things. But we all know that from history that when a party power gets rested with one hand, it breeds arrogance, it breeds corruption, it breeds opaque vision. Though right now Kejriwal is absolutely incorruptible. But the fact is, when you build a power center around yourself and concentrate power in your hand, and you are impatient of dissent because you believe that dissent will slow down your deliverables, then I think it's time for them, as Ashutosh said, instead of evolving to the way the other parties have evolved, they should try and evolve in a democratic inner party democracy. Just take this for example. There was a newspaper report that there is going to be a think tank, and with all eminent people, and the head of the think tank will be Arvind Kejriwal. No, that is wrong. If you have a think tank, it should be independent of Kejriwal, so that the think tank, which is fearless, which is autonomous, which is independent, will tell Kejriwal what the issues are, both within the party, how the country looks at them, and also on the policy issues.
But that's an interesting
thought, sir.
But Aarti, sorry, is that practical? I mean, can any political party, whether it is the AAP, the BJP, the Congress, any of them, can they run without one person who with whom the buck stops? Is there such thing as collective leadership for real?
You know, I mean, I think these are wonderful ideals to have, and you know, it would be great if all political parties could strive towards that. But you know, those days when Nehru had to deal with a Sardar Patel and a Rajendra Prasad, and they could cut him down, and you know, there was this sort of constant polemics going on in the Congress party. I think those days are really gone today. And you know, organizations, and not just political parties actually, Nidhi, organizations across sectors, you know, if you see, the really successful ones are driven by one person, by one personality. And you know, that seems to be the sad truth today. So you know, I think we should definitely hold up inner party democracy as an ideal and try to get there. But I really don't see it happening. And if Aam Aadmi Party is going that way, well, at the end of the day, look, it's another political party. It's participated in elections, and it is evolving the way other political parties have evolved.
Okay, my last question to Ashutosh. Ashutosh, there was one very important charge that you know, Prashant Bhushan made about the AAP seeking the Congress's support secretly in order to before the elections, in order to avoid contesting the polls at all. Is that officially being denied by the party? Because Arvind Kejriwal had denied it on record earlier, but this is something that, you know, Prashant Bhushan has put in writing.
See, again, I will not comment what Mr. Prashant Bhushan has raised and what he has said in a letter, but I can tell you one thing, that in the month of May, just after the parliamentary election, yes, Arvind Kejriwal has written a letter to the Lieutenant Governor and asking him, please don't dissolve assembly, because I want to go to the people and want to explore the possibility of forming the government. That's what has happened, and very next day he has denied that. He has said that yes, I'm not going for that. And after that, I don't think there has been ever made any attempt on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party to explore any possibility like that. I don't know why he has said this, and whatever the reason, I'm absolutely clueless about this.
So you did contact the Congress to look at the possibility of government formation, yes?
No, what I have said, in the month of May, Arvind has written a letter to the Lieutenant Governor asking him, please don't dissolve assembly. Aam Aadmi Party wants to go to the people and explore the possibility of forming the government. It does not entail that it will seek support from the Congress or anybody else.
And where else would they have got the support?
All right, well, I'm going to leave it at that tonight. Interesting days ahead for the Aam Aadmi Party. We will revisit this story on Wednesday when that decision is expected to be taken on Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan's continuance in that high decision-making body. Thank you to all of you for giving us your time on the program tonight. I'll take a break. When we come back, the other big story today is both political and hitting headlines in the world of sport. Jagmohan Dalmia is back.